I was initially introduced to cross kicks by doing a Google search looking for the perfect shoe that would allow me to unload my kayak from the ramp without changing shoes, getting in the boat, fishing all day, and being able to come back, get in the truck, and go home.
The big thing for me that made me wear cross kicks over other shoes was the versatility. I can go to the boat ramp, and then when I'm done at the boat ramp, I can go meet my wife and kids for a nice dinner and wear the same shoes and have, nice looking, comfortable shoes on.
I ordered cross kicks because of the backing strap, the drainage. Visually, I thought this has got to work better. Tried the shoe. Within the first week, felt it was phenomenal. It works for me. It allows me to rinse my feet off in the water, get back in the vehicle, continue on my day, and never have to change shoes throughout the day.
It keeps me comfortable all day long. It is a huge factor on the water, comfort, comfort, comfort. And especially my feet being comfortable, protected, and knowing that when I step off my kayak, I'm gonna have good solid foot traction. That's a great feeling to have.
By the time I put my kayak in the water and get out and load my equipment up, my shoes are already dry. And I wouldn't change that about cross kicks for anything.
You're watching Chasing the Tide, your saltwater connection on the Paddle and Fin Network, dedicated to gathering and providing wisdom, knowledge, plus spin a few stories from time spent on the water. Saltwater fishing, updates by the raddest baddest dude on the Gulf Coast. Now let's join the one and only devil dog himself, Dustin Nichols.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back again. We're live tonight again for another live stream there. Little recap of the Elite Fishing Series National Championship out of Lake Charles, the Brecknell Kayak Fishing Tour. I got some of the fellas that fished that event over there. We got James Aldridge from Florida, Dave Morissette, local Texas guy right down the road from me in Rockport, Mike Dunning from Crystal River, Florida, in the house. Had some conflicts with some other guests, but we're glad to have all of you guys on tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the event and, the planning and different things there. And if you don't mind, we'll start with James and then David and then Mike. We'll go around and introduce yourself. Tell everybody, a little bit, just give a little Cliff Notes version of how you got into that plastic boat and your fishing kind of background there for us.
James Aldridge from Crystal River. Been kayak fishing for about 2 years. Was doing a boat side for a while and sort of fell in love with the kayak side. So been fishing tournaments for about 2 years now out of the kayak.
Cool deal. Dave?
Hey guys, Dave Morissette down here in Rockport, Texas. Interesting story, just real quick. Had a neighbor up in San Antonio when I lived up there, Abel Gonzalez. I keep blaming him for getting me into this addictive sport. he was in an old wilderness, and he asked me to go one weekend, and went down to Aransas Pass. The rest was history. Once I saw him bring up 2 redfish, wow, those are big fish. That turned me on from that moment forward. That was probably 7-8 years ago. Since then, it's therapy to me. Just get me on the water.
Cool deal. Mike?
Yeah, Mike Dunning with Captain's Cove Outfitters. I actually live in Waxhaw, North Carolina. I met James. I go to Florida all the time. My family lives down there. I grew up fishing Yankeetown, Crystal River ever since I was a little fella. And just got into kayak fishing probably 5 years ago now. And just been trying to find a competitive series to fish in ever since. And I actually found 2 of them in the past year and a half now and been enjoying every bit of it.
Oh yeah, it's tough. It's tough to beat, a lot of the big thing in Texas, is I'm competitive. I came up in the surf and skateboard industry. I grew up in coastal Georgia in Brunswick, St. Simon's area, and then lived in Jack's Beach and St. Augustine, and then joined the Marine Corps and took off back to the station in Hawaii, and then came back and in California, run around singing some punk rock bands and stuff. But I've always fished. When you surf, if there's no waves, you're a waterman. You're fishing or you're skateboarding. But man, I fished since I was a kid. Same thing, and then very competitive. And we got the You know, Pat with his elite, he puts on a dang good show, man. We had Ron Henney with the Professional Redfish League, ran some kayak stuff through the years as well. And it's always cool, just like Chris with the FRS over there in Florida. The big stage, you know, it's a platform, it's exposure for the anglers. You're giving love to your sponsors and partners and everything, and that's a big part of this whole industry as well. And then the camaraderie. We're big on that in Texas. You know, I've been here since '96, and I've been kayak fishing for about 14 years, I think, 13 or 14 years. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a minute now, but it's that's one thing we always strive on over here is just the friendship with everybody, you know. But when we're on the water in the tournament, boy, it's on, you know, you know. So
you're a competitive guy, Dustin. I can say that.
Oh,
I think we all are, but you got that extra edge. You just don't. You'll cast till your arm falls off.
Oh man, I've been known to do that. You know,
that's one thing me and James noticed about when we came over there to fish, how everybody just is so friendly with everybody.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like a big get together, you know.
It's basically what it is, but you know, come tournament day, you know, you're on the water. I'm fishing to win. You know, I want to win. I want to catch the fish. I want to go at it. You know, but as soon as you get off the water, it's time. I'm gonna crack me a beer. I'm gonna have a good whole time. You know, that's what it's all about right there. Hanging out with everybody and just chilling. You know.
That's one of the big things that attracted me, right? Was when I initially started seeing all the, you know, down here in Texas, especially now, was just a camaraderie, right? And fast forward to today, I think 98% of my friends are kayakers, right?
Right.
Some of them are boaters.
Yeah, because Dave, when you first started out, you were still in San Antonio permanently, so you would drive down to the coast on the weekends and fish, and then they finally relocated to Rockport, which is right on the water, you know, big plus.
Yeah, I overlook, I go out on my deck. It overlooks Copano Bay. Pretty nice.
Yeah, right out the back. Yep. Nice place over there, man. Holiday Beach area. Super nice. All right, James, let's get out of nitty gritty. I know you and Mike were teammates for the event, so I'm going to let y'all chime in a little bit on some kind of what you guys saw in the area that when y'all were looking at stuff to fish. I mean, it's endless, but then the private lands come into play. But when you're looking at the public options there's just so many drains and so many back lakes and ponds. And it's really hard to find somewhere you want to focus on because there's just so much stuff that looks good.
Absolutely. I mean, I was countless hours on Google Maps. Like I said, I'd never been to Louisiana. So we homed in to some spots around Hackberry off the intercoastal that looked pretty good. So we had a game plan going over, and first day we pre-fished, Mike hit area, I hit area, and we both caught fish. I mean, Mike had some nice ones, 8:30, but the wind was the problem over on his area.
Yep.
So we got in my area, it was dirty, but I didn't know the difference. I didn't know dirty clear because I'd never been to Louisiana. And after about 3 hours, I found clear water and like, wow, never sight fish, redfish like I did over there. It was just mind blowing.
Oh, yes.
Kayak, pitching down by the kayak. So did real good pre-fishing. Didn't do bad tournament wise. I mean, we caught fish, but it's a different fishery over there than it is in Florida.
For sure. I knew, like, over here, some of that stuff over there is similar. Some of this back marsh we fish over here as well. Water can get really clear back there. And, you know, if the fish haven't been ran over by the duck hunters when they're, you know, like right now we got a break. I mean, you can be in your kayak just drifting and they'll be right beside you. And you just drop your lure in off the tip of your rod and hook them right beside you. I mean, that's how it is over there at times too in Louisiana. It can get stupid, you know.
And where we fish sort of like Yanktown as far as backwaters, the creeks, the marsh. I mean, so it was sort of the same, use the same lures. I mean, once I got over there and figured it out, I mean, it was just about like fishing the backcountry Yankeetown.
Yep. And that's good stuff over there. I fished that Crystal River area, and I like that a lot over there. Out of a boat, but it's got to be the same. You know, we got back in some skinny stuff in a skiff and everything, so I like that area a lot. Mike, how was you when y'all pre-fished the area? You found the water was a little dirtier. You had to push back, or you?
Well, where I pre-fished, I was in open water fishing a western windblown bank.
Yeah,
and I had 1.5 2 footers breaking over the back of the kayak.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, within the first hour of pre-fishing, I had a 27 and a 26 3/4 on the deck. And
Man.
I was pretty confident with that area. And then I looked at the wind forecast and I was like, oh, it's going to be miserable. I mean, it's doable
Right.
tournament time, but I mean, it was a lot of water to cover because we had a few more drains we could have hit in that area.
Right.
And I didn't even scratch the surface. I mean, I came around a point, fished for an hour and seen what I wanted to see. So I went to go check another area. And while I was on transit back to the boat ramp, James started sending me all kinds of photos. So then I wasn't even worried about where I was going next.
We got us a few spots. Yeah. Yep.
I went there to look around, and I mean, like James said, it was a lot of Google Earth, Google Maps, using different apps, just seeing what's public land, what's private land, and did have some intel from a few of our friends and stuff. So that helped out a lot to narrow down areas to fish. So we weren't searching just
mindlessly, because you could do that because there's areas within the areas over there, you know, that you could say, oh yeah, you need to fish this part of West Cove and this and that, or you need to fish this part of Hackberry or this. I don't know. There's just that OnX app that you know you use for launches and you use for lands and stuff like that. Just off the beaten path stuff is a big plus to have over there because there's just so much stuff you can. You know,
sure.
It's crazy how they can own the water over there. It's just insane to me.
And it's crazy. I mean, the fishing was pretty similar to what I do. I've mainly fished like Charleston, South Carolina, and then places up around Oak Island, North Carolina. Where I live, I'm 3 hours from Charleston, so I'm 3 hours from
right on
salt water.
Yeah.
So, but sight fishing, like it's a little different there because I mean, you can see them in 2 feet, 3 feet of water in Louisiana, no problem.
Yeah.
Over here, if it's not less than a foot and you can see half their back out of the water.
Right.
But I mean,
there's a lot of more like pluff mud marsh over there.
Yeah, exactly.
You got bigger tighter swings that the bigger tidal swings pull more of that silt with it.
Oh yeah.
Like, because that's how it was. You get 6, 7 foot tide swings, you know, and you got to play that game. That's always fun.
And I mean, I posted a video the other day on Facebook. I mean, it's just literally I was dropping lures right in front of the fish, not even casting.
That's pretty cool right there. You can't beat that that's over here. That's what we call it Red October because it's like I'm on an outage at work and I'm just like, I had somebody come down today. I put them on some fish and they were like, man, I had schools all over me. Like I'd go look across the lake and there'd be birds running down the bank and I'd go over there and I caught 2 out of there. And then next thing you know, I look across the other way and I run 100 yards and there's another school coming at me. He said he ran into like 9 schools of fish and like 2 ponds.
Oh, wow.
He's like, they were just everywhere. I was like, I'm at work. Sorry. I figured I'd let you go get on them since I can't. Oh man. Oh, Breck, what's up, Brett? Breck had a pretty good finish at that Bassmaster on Caddo this weekend, or they would have been at the elite. They did qualify. He had a pretty good finish over there at the Caddo tournament. Yes, sir. Jesse Laspierre, my buddy over there in Florida, he fishes the FRS. He's on there commenting. Tammy, Dave's wife's on. Tommy Bergen said, "What's up?" Yeah, we got quite a few people on here, just a little bit. See if we get anybody else got questions that's watching. Throw them up in the comments. I'll read them out, post them, or whatever we got there. David, pre-fishing for you guys. Did you and Matt both get there at the same time, or y'all have a little more?
No, Matt was busy.
Matt was there.
Busy.
Yeah,
Matt was busy chasing money at the casino, I think.
Playing blackjack.
Yeah, I got there Tuesday night late, and Wednesday decided to hit a little local marsh just after I saw that. Wow, a lot of what I was targeting on Google Maps was off limits, right?
Right.
Private land or whatever. So we were looking way east, right on the other side of I don't know if it's the ICW or that whole waterway that comes north to south. So right there by our Airbnb, there was a tasty looking marsh. I slid up there in the morning because, like Mike mentioned, winds were kicking, right? The front blew in. So I was lucky. I had a little channel, little canal, and slid up in there for do some pre-fishing. We're just fishing. Not much of anything in the morning. It was really cold, which we're not used to coming from Texas. And caught a few. Actually had to throw popping cork just to get their attention, which isn't my bag. But by midday, holy crap, it was like there were fish everywhere. And I probably had a couple that would have been tournament worthy. Just let them go. Didn't want to mess with them. But a lot of 22s, 23s, 24s. So we knew fish were there, right? One of the big problems was when you launch in the morning, the tides are up. When those tides get sucked out of those marshes, you're going to be sitting on mud. And that's where I was. I was actually calling Tam, my wife, telling her, hey, mark my spot. My phone's dying. Anyway, pushed a couple 100 yards across mud to get out of it. And Matt and I made the decision. We know there's fish there. We're just not sure of the size. Let's go there. So we show up day one. We're sitting at the mouth of the marsh, just hanging out until first cast. Once 6:30 hit, we went up into the marsh and ran right into good old Roland and Roland and his partner. So we backed off, right? We just said hi and, hey, we'll let you have it. We'll go a mile south, plan B. And thing is, for me, is when you're fishing with a partner, I mean, I fished with Tommy. He's on here, Tommy Bergen before. Yeah. You never want to let your partner down, right? Right.
True.
Any angler can skunk, right? It just happens. And that was unfortunate. Day one, Matt had a damn good fish. I think it was close to a 7-pounder. And I was the embarrassing one on stage day one with a little 18.5, 19-inch redfish, right? So we only had 9 pounds after that day one.
Right. And y'all made a huge jump on day two. Any kind of adjustment between the days? Did y'all fish the same area? Or
yeah, we actually decided to fish the same area. I mean, I think I mentioned it on my post. Having somebody like Matt, you think you know it all, but you don't. You listen to other guys like you and, guys like Castro and all the guys that have been doing it for 100 years. And there's always something new to learn. And I'm the type of guy that I'll throw on that owner twist lock hook and an AM lure, and that's all I'm throwing all day, right? Or top water.
Yeah.
Where Matt's like, no, man, you got to downsize, right? So I just went down, just threw a little gulp shrimp on, right? Mm-hmm. And I lost a couple at first. Anyway, with all those tips, he was confident about going back to the same spot. Yeah, we adjusted, went back to the same spot. It was going to be warmer. We were seeing activity, like I said, about pre-fishing, we were seeing activity midday. So, yeah, let's go at the same spot. It's all good. We only got 9 pounds. Give it our best shot. And I lost a couple early in the morning. Matt had a couple just to get us on the board, right? But we needed to upgrade. And I just got lucky. Blind casted towards this little island. And, blind casting the shoreline until your arm falls off.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, there's way too many checks have been had burning a wake bait down shorelines with structure or windblown shoreline with the popping cork and gulp, like blind casting. I'm telling you, it's a lot.
You know me.
Yeah. I will sight cast and I will look for activity and bait and blow ups and different things in that. But on my way, when I'm cruising around, I'm throwing my arm off. You don't know how many fish I've caught doing that.
That's definitely a lesson learned, right? I know people do that. I'm just not the most patient angler, and I'm the type that will go until I see something, right?
Yeah.
Which in the tournament you only have so much time, Different when you're out there just having fun, but yeah, I just blind casted towards an island, and I hooked up, and I knew she was going to be over. And when I slapped her on the check it stick, it was right at 27. And 8.6 pounds. Good solid fish. Probably a half hour later, Matt and I were almost side by side coming down this river, and he went over into this little side lake. And next thing you know, he's yelling over at me, "Hey, I'm on." He goes, "We're done."
Yeah,
we're done.
we're
He had
done.
just
We're done.
27. He had a
Time to
27.
babysit the fish. Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt.
he
You
had-
said that Matt's fish was struggling on the way in, right? Y'all just had stringers and were just easing back to the launch.
Yeah, I have an onboard live well. He'll kick my ass for this, but I didn't bring it because I'm like, oh no, all the fish I caught pre-fishing, they're feisty, man.
Yeah.
And all day. So I'm not going to worry about the live well. Well, his fish on the way back, he was nursing it. Almost had to get in there and give him some CPR, but we were able to check in early. Weighmaster confirmed they were alive. So then we were good to go. Went and grabbed a bite to eat, came back and had a good bag, good weight.
Yeah. Fish care, I mean, that could have cost you a podium right there, just that half-pound deduction for one dead fish. Yeah, it can catch up to y'all. James and Mike, did y'all have any problems with the fish? Were y'all running a live well on the kayaks themselves, or were y'all were just stringing them back to the launch and then putting them in a live well?
We were running a live well on both kayaks.
Yeah.
Friday. And then
Well, especially in the summer months too. But at least y'all had a cool front. It cooled things down. Man, it's a big plus. I mean, that especially if you lose both of them, 1 pound, and you're like struggling. You lose a pound, that can definitely cost you a check right there.
Yeah, ours wasn't even close. We didn't have to nurse them. They were wide open all the way up on the stage.
Oh yeah.
Are you throwing some G juice in there, James?
Yeah, I think
we had
a little bit on the G juice because they almost walked out the coolers.
Dude, like mine, I try to grab them out of there, and they're swim away from me. They're so dang strong sometimes, and they splash especially if you put. I got a separator in mine that keeps them upright.
Yeah,
and I'll float frozen water bottles in there in the summer, like for the Port O'Connor stop. I had fish in there. I had one of my fish in there was from like 7:45 in the morning, and it was still kicking at 3:30.
Yeah,
3 o'clock, whatever time it was,
Our first fish went in at 6:40, I think it was. I mean, I couldn't even see where I was casting to. I just cast it in a direction with a wake bait and it hooked the fish.
There you go. See, wake bait again. Skinny water lures. Chris is on here right now.
Yep. It was definitely a skinny water lures wake bait that did it too.
Yep.
But yeah,
Chris,
that was one of the fish we took across the stage, so it pretty much had to babysit.
Oh yeah, you babysit all day. Yeah,
I
run
went
with
through 2 live well batteries.
Yep, live well battery. Definitely have circulation. I got O2 bottle on mine, and as soon as I get them back to the launch, I'm dumping a bag of ice on them. As long as it's filtered, dumping a bag of ice, especially in the hot months, man, and cool them down, slow their metabolism down a little bit, and then they chill out and just sit there and breathe.
Luckily, that
and then as soon as you get back to the ramp or the weigh in and you try to grab them out of there, like, no, they all flare up and get all crazy.
Luckily, the water temp was in the mid to high 60s all weekend, so that helped out a lot.
There you go. What Sherry and I took 10 minutes to get ours out of live well. They were feisty. Yeah, that's what they are. Nick Beltran said, "What's up?"
I got them back in the bag. Want to cut me all up.
Oh yeah, they'll get you with their fins and everything. And Breck asked, "Are y'all using the black Plano containers?" And I will say, yes, I am. It's like 16 and a half inches wide or 17 inches wide by 29 inches long is what mine is. And then I took the lid and cut it. I got the last third of it with I made some little hinges and poked holes all in the top so it breathes. And then I got an O2 bottle on top. It runs in and a little divider inside with some little small diameter PVC with an old laundry basket like zip tied to it, so it keeps the fish separated. So they kind of just hang on their own side. It kind of holds them up too when they want to try to flip. They can. Then I got the little weights that clip onto their pectoral fins that'll hold them down as well.
Oh, wow.
So there's some tricks. I'm sharing some tricks right now.
Yeah,
are you circulating the water?
Yeah, I circulate my water. I add some fresh water every now and then as well. Yeah,
but you're not circulating it from the bay, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did have a setup like that, but yeah,
we never fished live well tournaments in Florida. We always do CPR.
Yeah.
So when the Elite came to Jacksonville, me and James both had to make live wells, and I just went and grabbed an igloo cooler that was like 29 inches in the inside, and actually took the drain plug out of it and put a regular aerator pump in where the drain plug was, and then back fed it through. And I ran a bubbler. but I think I'm going to improve on that next year and just run bubblers, because that aerator pump sounded like I had an outboard behind the kayak all day.
It does make some noise. It will. Yeah, I got just a little battery operated circulator, and I ran it through some extra piping and poked little holes in it so it squirts like a super thin jets, but I got about 30 of them that shoot out.
That's the way I set mine up.
Yes, sir.
Run PVC across the top, put all the little holes.
Yep. It helps it's a little bit quieter. Yeah, sharing a little bit of tips. I mean, it is there's a learning curve on it, and
sure.
And how much G-juice to add, and then just update your water and everything. That's the main thing. But like I said, the fish care can be make you or break you on that half pound of fish. Dang sure can. It's a little different than the CPR events. There's a lot of people here that, especially in Texas, we had a hard time trying to get the CPR stuff going.
I can see why.
It's tough. We had people putting stuff under the fish to shorten them up so they'd fit in the slot. And, we had some fish DQ'd for that and not accepted. And yeah, it was a mess for a little while, but it is what it is. Somebody's going to find a way to do something, it's just, if there's money involved, that's the worst thing about it,
Exactly.
Yeah, makes it tough. So yeah, it was close. That the weights were really close in the top,
I mean, we were what, Mike, 3/4 a pound out of second and a little over a pound out of first.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all were a pound and a half out, a little under a pound and a half out of first. Yeah, y'all had 24.57. David, you and Matt had 24.85.
Oh, I don't know.
25.39 and 26.04. And man, and a couple of them fish, the second and third place guys, they were kind of, their fish. One of them got bumped at first, and then the second time it took it.
Yeah.
And that's got, boy, my nerves would have been going crazy, because I know I swing for the fences, and I've had fish kick before that measured on my board and then didn't measure at the weigh-in. It's like, holy cow, they just released or something. Them fish can be finicky.
Yeah, I think we're all watching, at least those that were close. Because
yeah, you can crank your O2 up, and it makes them bow up. Let's shrink them a little bit.
Then we knew the first place team that was up in front of us, Chasin and Angel.
Yeah,
they had one that was close, and they were worried.
Yep.
You could tell
they were there. You could tell. Well, they got that one bumped in Kima, right? They had one bumped in Kima.
That was a heartbreaker.
Because they would have won that one as well.
Oh, no doubt. They had a big fish. Those guys are slayers, man. Those young guys, man. They're good. They're good.
They're trying to come up. Yeah. Yeah. We all know what happened if they fish a trout tournament, though. You know what happened. I gotta talk smack. It's okay.
Yeah. Gotta keep them in their place, right?
Yeah. It's all good. I'm excited for everybody to have the opportunity. That's the main thing. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a shot. Man, that's what's cool about it. That is what's cool about it. Breck was laughing about that one. Yeah. Anything else y'all want to share about the area? Lake Charles is pretty neat. How about that food over there? Y'all get some good grub while y'all are over there? I got to talk about food. I'm sorry.
Still hurting from it.
I imagine.
We messed up and went to a buffet the first night.
Oh, goodness. They'll load you up on that fried stuff, too. Everything. They fry everything over there.
Oh, yeah.
Buffet was awesome. Casino, not so much.
Yeah. Y'all ended up staying at the casino?
I stayed Tuesday night. I got over about 11 and went down for a couple hours, and I probably could have won the tournament, wouldn't have broke even.
There you go. Right on, man. Dang. But yeah, y'all looking forward to fishing it next year? Y'all gonna try to make it over for some events over here in Texas, maybe?
I think we are. We may be breaking up the band. I'm not sure though. We have a couple other buddies of ours that want to fish it as well, so we might have to come over as a little bit bigger pack this next year.
There you go.
Definitely doing in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Want to do one in Louisiana, and I really want to do one in Texas.
Well, come on out. Come on out over here. We'll come over. Y'all can come fish. We'll go get on them. I mean, we got everything from that back marsh, and then we got that clear stuff down in Corpus, fishing the potholes, just kind of like St. Mark's and all that is,
Yeah, Steenhatchee and all that.
Yep. It's fun, and there's them fish are I fished a small tournament here this past weekend since I couldn't get off. They said, "Oh, you could take 2 days off." And there's no way I was going to go wake up at 3 a.m, go to work, get off a little after 5, and then drive to Lake Charles and fish a tournament all day Friday, all day Saturday, and drive home 5 hours, and then get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go back to work again.
5 hours? That's it?
Yeah, it was 5. I had to, yeah.
It was 14.
That's like me going to Panacea. It was 12 and a half, But I plan on making a few of those over there next year too. Maybe I can drag a few more fellas from over here.
Yeah, definitely.
Fish some of those
Panama
FRS
City and Panacea.
Yep, I'll be at those two for sure.
Is that greenfish?
No, it's redfish, Florida Redfish Series. Yeah,
hey,
good time.
Man.
They put on a good show too, man, and they're all in cool areas with cheap. Most of like Panacea is like it's Lost Coast, man. It's Forgotten Coast. It's in Florida fishing towns. There's great restaurants and food. Barbecue joint was there. It was awesome. Lots of good little areas to fish. You can find everything from flats to marsh to oyster and everything right there. There's a lot of good stuff over there.
For sure.
I like that area for sure.
I think I brought it up to you earlier, Dustin.
That what?
I said I think 2 of them again this year will be qualifying events for the Hobie.
For the Hobie, yep. I snuck in there. I dang sure did. I fished the Saltwater Survival Series. The first one of the year. I think it was in like the beginning of April. It's my boy Daniel Hayes and Tony Keel ran that trail. It was the redfish event, which normally I'm still chasing trout like in the spring. I really don't go for redfish, but I was on some dang hammers. And I could never get the second fish to eat. Like I could never land my second fish. I'd have groups of fish try to ambush my bait, and they'd all would just push it away from. There'd be 3 fish or 2 fish, and they'd both try to eat it, or they all 3 would try to eat it. So I had an 8, 6, 7, and then I should have had like 16 or 17 pounds that day, and just could never get the second one in the dang boat. So yeah, that's always fun when that happens. But that one fish got me the top 70 qualified, 67th place for that one tournament. I lucked in there. So I'm going to try to go.
I'm going to be making the trip back for that too. I just booked my Airbnb this afternoon.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, man. There you go for Chris Murphy's on, gentlemen. Man,
hope he's feeling
better. To hear about what happened to you, Mr. Murphy.
Yep.
We're just praying for a speedy recovery and everything gets lined out.
For sure.
And good to go. Chris Castro's on here. He's one of the fellow competitors. He said, great meeting you all, James and Mike. Always good seeing you, David. Chris is a well-known guy over here, big trout guy as well. Me and him love to chase big old yellowmouth. Solid angler and everything. Look, it's just fishing them new areas, it can be tough over there. I know everybody had to break stuff down, and it's just, man, I wouldn't have been in there, yeah. As much map studying as I did, I still would have went over there and been like, I'd have wanted to fish everything.
Yeah, one thing different. I think I mentioned it to you earlier, Dustin, before the podcast.
Yeah.
Here, I think we all kind of target these certain spots, especially around Rockport, Corpus, Francis Pass, where, you're looking for that cut or that back river that leads to some back lake where you never know. Sometimes you get back there and the backs are out of the water and it's just monster fish back there. We must have gone up 4, 5, 6 cuts to little back lakes way back in there. Crystal clear water, no bait, no fish. I'm sure there's times a year that they're probably, stacked, but it was frustrating, right? Because we wasted a lot of time going up those cuts. Just the delta or the difference between what we're used to here and going there is definitely, But
you come out on the main basin, main lake banks and the little.
Exactly. That's what we did.
They were out there on them shorelines, at the mouth of them. Tammy said those fish didn't act right. She said they didn't act right. Yeah, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they need a little attitude adjustment. That's when that popping. I heard a lot of people talk about popping cork, like for real. Like everybody up there on stage, a lot of them was like, "Man, popping cork and gulp, popping cork and gulp."
Me and Mike didn't even have one tied on. So I reckon we need to learn how to pop and cork fish.
I'll tell you, over there in that Florida, Northeast Florida, it works pretty dang good on them shell beds too. It's boring.
We didn't
Yep.
have to attract. I mean, we saw them and we threw to them. So I
Right.
popping
Yeah.
cork
If you
would've been
see it, if you can
pointless.
see them and throw to them. Like if
I
I
was
see schooling fish or fish that 2 or 3 in a group that I can see that, I'm not throwing a popper cork at them. You're about 9 times out of 10, you're going to spook them.
I was literally just throwing a little finesse TRD on a Ned,
Yep.
16-ounce Ned head, just something to make low splash right in
Low
front of 'em.
splash. Yep. Those
I'd
finesse
sit there,
baits are great.
I would free spool it and just watch him swim away with the school still, and he would have it in his mouth, and I'd just lock the belt and yank him out of the school.
Yep.
I was throwing the hoodwink.
Those are some great baits. That swamp gold one's tough to beat over
it
here.
is, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that thing's got a little cool little action on it too.
Yeah, it does. But we
Yeah.
had our fish by 9:30
Yeah.
second day, and we struggled all day upgrading, missed opportunities, break-offs. It was, yeah.
Oh, Nate over there from Alabama, Southern Salt Fishing.
He's got
Oh,
that
yeah.
minute set out now too that looks pretty good.
Yeah. Yep.
And the
He's
weight
got
bait.
some good stuff. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got a wake bait. It's kind of one of the circuit board style ones, a little smaller profile. It's a good looking little bait. Yep.
I actually
definitely-
caught a couple on it on
Nice.
pre-fit on Thursday.
I just like a wake bait for covering water.
Yes.
I can cover so much water with that bait on the flats, fishing the potholes. It's stupid. Same popping cork too. I can cover water with a popping cork, but it's monotonous. I hate
Weight
it.
bait, you can cover some ground, especially when you're blind fishing. That weight
Yep.
bait or spinner bait.
Yep. Wake bait, spinner bait, and chatter bait. The the Z-Man, what is the other one?
Diesel chatter,
The diesel, but then it's the other one, not
the
jig
Hellraiser,
head.
or not Hellraiser.
The trout eye. It's got the redfish eye. What's that company? Dave Flat and them.
Oh,
Dang it.
Eye Strike.
Eye Strike chatterbait. Duh. Sorry about
Yeah,
that,
right
Dave.
there.
Release over 20 in the house. Yes. The Eye Strike is just a jig head with the blade and the little swivel on the blade. You can put
Yeah, that's
whatever tail you want on it.
that's the diesel chatter.
Those are killer.
Yep.
Those are killer.
No skirt, no nothing.
Yep. Catch a lot of flounder on those. And I heard from several people over there that they had a pretty good flounder bite. They were on too.
James got a stud flounder.
Yeah, I caught a good one. Right at 20.
20.
Which is
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one. I think the season was closed or something, or I'd have took some of them home with me.
It was.
I'd have had some stuff flounder that night with some crack sauce, Dave, with some shrimp and crab cream sauce.
Right.
Yep. Sure enough, man. But no, I appreciate y'all coming on, sharing a little bit about the event and everything. We had some people on, and then they'll continue to get shared. And some, if you happen to see some questions on there or something, somebody could tag you in it or something. If y'all don't mind kind of responding and keep it going on here, if they had something else they want to bring up. I always like to do these after these events since nobody else is. I did one for the FRS. I'm gonna start doing it, for our redfish stuff for our saltwater side, because nobody else is covering the saltwater events, So I'm lucky enough to still be part of this platform with Paddle and Fin and can, give everybody a little extra exposure to, satisfy their partnerships and sponsors. So with closing tonight, I'll give you all the opportunity to get on the mic here and just say, give your thanks to who supports you and everything like that. Go ahead, James. We'll get you rolling.
I really ain't got a lot. I mean, Jim at Captain's Cove Outfitters in Yankee Town. He does a lot for me and Mike both. Other than that, that's about the only one I've really got currently. Looking for others.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Sure, you won't have no problem now. Come on, Dave.
Yeah, I pretty much stick with the local guys. I don't do a lot of the pro staff thing or, good friends of ours, James Matheson. They fished the tournament. James and Shane Coleman. They started up a rod company a year or so ago and turned us on to their S&J rods. Check them out, S&J. They literally make a rod, at least for the bait caster. I've got them making me another one now. It's like 3.3 ounces. No, it's not that $500 Waterloo, Dustin, but it's right up there with them. They do a hell of a job.
No, they make a good rod.
Yeah,
I've grabbed a couple.
And then a couple other anglers that have been fishing the Elite, the Peñas, Orlando and his son, 21-year-old son. I wish I could get my son out there, but those guys grind. They grind hard, and they got a little company going on with Rip and Lip Lures. I've been mentioning wake baits, and they're what I love about it. He turned me on to a smaller version. I used to use the big humpback from Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
A smaller version wake bait.
Uh-huh.
I think the first time I was 3 or 4 casts, I threw it over there in Ingleside, just fishing for fun, smashed it, ripped it off my line. I was like, damn, that's it. It was gone, broke off. Yeah. But been using that quite a bit. He's making the Rip and Lip Lures shrimp, and
he's got some good looking spoons. He hammers his own spoons out, and the spoons are great. The spoons are killer.
Those who use the hammered Bagley spoons that they went out of business or they sold out, couldn't find them, and everything else is just the shiny Walmart looking thing. And I saw those online. That's where I got introduced to them, and I reached out to buy a few. And when in Slidell, I was using those in Slidell for the Elite, and they were hammering it.
Cool.
Yeah. Just those two companies.
Good family. Yep. Right on, man. Great to support them local companies and local brands. Mike?
Pretty much what James said on that. James and or Jim and Andrew at Captain's Cove Outfitters. My sister-in-law, Sherry, with Majestic Oaks Realty. She's jumped on board actually for next year and bought all of our jerseys and stuff. And Ice Strike, Dave Flat over there in Charleston, makes one heck of a jig head. Works perfect.
Yeah, they do.
And just signed with Detour Sunglasses on Monday.
Cool deal.
Picked up a Detour Fishing now for all my optics.
Right on, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Just like, man, it's good to get that support too, because these events, I mean, they can add up. The mileage, the wear and tear on your vehicles. I'm like, man, I got a little oil shop nice little oil change place, family owned, and I talked to them, and they might be on board for next year. I was like, free oil changes for the year, right? We'll get you hooked up.
I'm working with Doc Diesel now.
Here. There's your FRS Angler of the Year right there. Good work, gentlemen. Another good show, Dustin. Appreciate doing the podcast. Right on, brother. Good guy. I had dinner with him in Crystal River when I was there back in July.
That's a good fella right there.
Yes, he is. I met him at the Panacea event, and we become pretty good friends, talking, sharing knowledge and stuff. So good dude right there. But yeah, like y'all, we couldn't do this without support from our wives, from our family, and everything as well. Just like this podcast, Waterloo, Cross Kicks, everybody, we appreciate all the support for this, and I thank y'all for offering up your time to come on here, and I'm just glad we can provide this platform for the anglers of these events and get some exposure for these events, and let's grow this community, because that's what it's all about right there. It's growing the kayak community and the camaraderie and the competition. Yeah,
for sure.
Hey, just quick shout out, Dustin. I can't say enough about. I'm proud of those guys, right? Some of our local guys.
Yeah,
Angel Nguyen and Jason Gutierrez. Even the other guys that we met during the Elite. What's his name? Roland Brown and George.
Yep.
Damn young guys up on stage. No, congratulations to them.
Yes,
they
for
killed
sure.
it. They did a great job. Proud of them.
Good stuff. And then my event will be coming up November 9th and 10th. For those out there listening, hopefully we're going to have some more people here signing up. It is a multi-species event. It is redfish on the first day, open to Texas inshore waters only. And that will be a 3-fish CPR 18 to 32 inch slot. And then the second day, we will have the live event on Lake Bass Drop for your best 5 bass. And that's CPR also. It's on the Tourney X platform. And then we'll have awards afterwards at Roadhouse page. I have a lot of stuff to give away for the raffles and some cool trophies from Catch. And yeah, hope to see some people at that as well, from our area here locally. 3rd year running. Hopefully we can get some people there. But yeah, once again, fellas, I just want to shout that out. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. And we're going to end this live stream. Stick around. I'm just going to close it out now. Thank y'all for tuning in, Chasing the Tide on the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. See y'all later.
See y'all.